Livestock News, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the show. We're at the 2013 Jackson County Livestock Expo. We're joined by Rob. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Glad to be here.
KLA, Natural Resources. What's KLA and Natural Resources? How do they go hand in hand?
Well, Kansas livestock producers across the state are really on the front line of protecting natural resources. We depend upon natural resources, and the Resources Committee works with powers that be, whether it be legislatures or KDHE, the Kansas Department of Health, and so forth, to help them make good decisions that will benefit not only Kansas and our natural resources, but keeping in mind that livestock producers depend upon those resources to make a living.
When we talk about resources, we're talking about water, grazing land. Anything else?
Well, the biggest issues would be water and erosion, and any type of potential pollution and so forth.
Coming into this year, water being, of course, being an issue, and everybody talking about that. Let's talk about that. What's the outlook? I mean, what are some of the things going on that are producers that are talking about when it comes to drought?
Well, the drought is a very big issue right now, and it has us all in a quandary. In this part of the state, we're a part of the state up here in northeast Kansas, Jackson County, that generally gets a pretty high amount of rainfall, 30 inches or better. And our neighbors to the south and the west have been dealing with this drought situation much longer than we have. It has everyone in a quandary because it's so widespread right now across the whole country. And the big question is, how do you manage your resources, be it your livestock or your land? And basically you have to manage it like you think it's going to rain, and you're going to have to manage it so that you can protect those resources, give it a chance to heal from the drought. But at this point, we've just got to have some rain.
18 months ago, everybody in Texas was shipping cows up here to graze. There's not much grazing left. I mean, the guys here in Kansas are having to save their own natural resources to graze their own cattle.
They are, and it's gotten to the point now where there's really not much grazing going on. It's a matter of trying to find feedstuffs, try new ideas, ways to get those cows through the winter months. Luckily, this winter's been a very easy winter as far as temperatures, and without precipitation, that's less stress and less energy needs on the livestock. But right now, it's a matter of trying to manage, find, at a cost-effective price, feedstuffs to get a cow herd, or whether you're running stockers, to get things through the winter and still try to maintain profitability. Well,
coming out of what is probably one of the mildest winters on record that I can think of, that I can remember, people should have some storage or at least some hay saved up, some good hay saved up, maybe coming into next winter that they may need to use that.
Well, that's not necessarily the case. Here in Jackson County, we're considered the brome capital of the world for brome seed. So we produce a lot of hay, have historically produced a lot of hay. There's factors that really make that not the case. One, our hay production here in many areas was a fourth of what a normal year would be. On top of that, we've seen a lot of acres that has long been taken out of row crop production and put into grass like brome, being taken back out. I have a neighbor who can account for 800 acres within 4 miles of his operation that's been tore up and put back to row crop. And that's a supply and demand issue with the price of corn. All those factors together with the dry weather and the lack of production is really, there isn't much carryover. There isn't much carryover from last year, and there won't be much carryover this year.
Well, how do you manage that? I mean,
well, the way producers are managing it right now is we're using feedstuffs that we normally wouldn't use.
Corn stalks.
In our operation, we're grinding corn stalks and straw. We're mixing that with some low-quality drought silage, and we're getting along good, largely because of the weather. If the weather changes to more cold and more wet, we're going to have to increase the energy level. But again, all feedstuffs are pretty high priced right now.
Right. Corn being one of those.
Corn being one of those, and anything that's made from corn. With the industry, as we went with, there's a lot of byproducts of the corn being used in ethanol plants, for example, and they're great products. They've been great for our industry. But with the price of corn and the drought and the lack of the availability of corn, all those feedstuffs, the price has risen.
It makes it tough for everybody.
It does,
Yeah.
but you know, we're Kansans, and you know, we've got generations in the livestock business, and we're up for a challenge, and we're always optimistic. And an old timer told me the almanac says it's going to be a wet March, and that's what I'm counting on.
There you go. Thanks. Very nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.